What if everything you've been searching for, peace, healing, truth, even love, was never outside of you, but hidden deep within your own soul, quietly waiting for you to come home? There is a mystery that has been whispered through time, passed down in symbols and ancient words, meant for those who feel that gentle pull towards something more. It begins with a strange word made of letters that seem meaningless at first glance, vitriol. But those letters hold an invitation so powerful it can completely transform your life. They stand for an old Latin phrase, Visita interiora terrae rectificando invenis occultum lapidum. Go deep into the earth, and by purifying what you find, you will discover the hidden stone. And though it speaks of the earth and of stones, this message is not about digging in soil. It's about diving into the depths of your own being. It's about the sacred journey of turning inward and remembering who you truly are. This isn't just old philosophy or forgotten wisdom. It's alive, and it calls to anyone who feels that quiet restlessness in their heart, that sense that something is missing, that longing to find meaning beyond what the eyes can see. It calls to those who know that true change does not begin with the world. It begins within. The hidden stone this message speaks of isn't made of gold or crystal. It's your own soul. It's your truth, your essence, your light that's been buried under layers of pain, fear, and distraction. And now you are being called to uncover it. This journey is not loud. It doesn't happen through force or pressure. It begins in silence, in stillness, in the decision to stop running, to stop hiding, and to finally turn toward the parts of yourself you've avoided. It asks you to listen to the voice inside, the one that's always been there, but has been drowned out by noise. That voice will guide you not through the world, but through the deep and sacred terrain of your own heart. The word interiora reminds you that this journey happens inside. It has nothing to do with how things look on the outside. It's about everything that lives within you, the parts you show and the parts you hide, your memories, your dreams, your fears, your hopes, the quiet pain you carry, the love you still believe in. All of it is part of this sacred inner world, and all of it is waiting to be seen, heard, and healed. And when the message speaks of Terre, the earth, it's reminding you of your connection to something ancient and natural. Just like the earth holds seeds in darkness until the time is right for them to grow, you too are holding something deep inside, something beautiful and powerful that's waiting to rise. Life moves in seasons, and so do you. There are times of blooming and times of resting, times of joy and times of stillness. All of it belongs. All of it has meaning. Then comes rectificando, to purify, to refine. This part of the journey asks for courage, not the kind that fights or forces, but the kind that faces truth with softness. You are asked to look at yourself honestly, to see your wounds, your habits, your fears, not to judge them, but to understand them, not to punish yourself, but to befriend yourself. This is how healing happens, not through harshness, but through love, through patience, through grace. As you begin to peel away the layers, as you let go of what no longer serves you, something begins to shine. That is the hidden stone. That is the part of you that was never lost, only buried. It is your true self, the one who is strong, whole, and full of light. And once you begin to connect with that part of yourself, you begin to change, not into someone else, but into someone more real, someone more alive, someone more you. But this journey is not quick. It's not clean. It's a winding path, a sacred maze through the shadows and the light. At times, you will feel lost. At times, you will feel unsure. But even in those moments, you are not failing. You are walking the path that every soul must walk to return to truth. Along the way, you'll meet parts of yourself you never knew were there. Some will feel familiar. Some will feel new. All of them are worthy of your love. You'll begin to notice life differently. You'll begin to slow down. You'll feel the breeze more deeply. You'll notice the warmth of sunlight, the smell of the earth after rain, the quiet between your thoughts. You'll stop rushing through your days, and you'll begin to live in them. You'll stop hiding from your feelings, and you'll begin to listen to them. This is how you reconnect. This is how you remember. You'll discover that your body and your soul are not separate. They speak to each other. They need each other. Your soul brings meaning to your life, and your body gives it form. Together, they create a way of living that is full, sacred, and whole. This is what real transformation looks like. Not escaping your life, but living it with open eyes and an open heart. You'll still have pain. You'll still face moments of confusion. But now, you'll face them from a deeper place. You'll begin to understand that your struggles are not signs of weakness, but invitations to grow. That your tears are not failures, but signs that you are healing. Every step you take will bring you closer to yourself. Every breath will remind you that you are here for a reason. You'll begin to see your patterns, your emotions, your reactions, not with shame, but with understanding. You'll begin to hold yourself with more kindness. You'll learn to love your whole self, the bright parts and the shadowed parts. You'll learn to stop chasing approval and start walking in truth. You'll feel your heart open. You'll feel your soul rise. This journey is not about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you are. It's about uncovering the treasure that was always there. The alchemists called it gold. The mystics called it light. You can call it home. It is the quiet strength that lives beneath your fear. It is the steady love that holds you in every moment. It is the truth that cannot be shaken. As you keep going, you'll begin to notice small awakenings, a sudden clarity, a moment of peace, a feeling of deep connection. These are not small things. These are signs that your soul is awakening, that your life is being transformed not through force, but through presence, through awareness, through love. The longer you walk this path, the more you will understand that the true treasure of life is not found in the outside world. It's found in being able to sit with yourself and feel peace. It's found in knowing that you are enough, that you are not broken, that you are becoming, and that every part of your journey, every moment of joy, every tear, every silence has brought you closer to the truth of who you are. You will not always have the answers, but you will have yourself. You will not always feel strong, but you will know that your strength is not in pretending. It's in being real, in being soft and brave at the same time, in choosing to love yourself even when it's hard, in choosing to believe that you are worthy of healing, of peace, of joy, and of wholeness. This is the path of vitriol. This is the path of going within, of purifying through love, of finding the light that was hidden. It is not a straight road. It is not always easy, but it is sacred, and it is yours. And maybe, just maybe, everything you've been looking for is already here, inside you, waiting to be found. Long ago, the ancient masters found ways to leave behind their sacred knowledge even without modern tools. They wrote on papyrus, carved into stone, and built holy places filled with symbols that carried deep truths. These messages weren't just about everyday life. They were about the soul, the universe, and the invisible connection between everything. These teachers understood something that many today are just beginning to rediscover. The world above us and the world within us are deeply connected. One of the most powerful ideas passed down through these masters comes from Hermes Trismegistus, who said, "As above, so below." This short phrase holds a timeless truth. It means that what happens in the heavens is reflected on the earth, and what happens outside of us mirrors what happens inside of us. There is no true separation. Everything is connected in ways we cannot always see. This understanding opens our eyes to the sacred unity of life. When we begin to understand that all things, big and small, visible and invisible, are tied together, we also begin to understand our place in the universe. Nothing is too small to matter. Every event, every emotion, every moment is a piece of something larger, and all of it is meaningful. This simple truth became the foundation for the work of the alchemists, who were often misunderstood. Many believed alchemy was just a way to turn lead into gold. But for the ones who truly understood, alchemy was about something much deeper. It was about turning a wounded spirit into a healed one. It was about changing not just outer elements, but the inner world of the soul. They believed that nature itself was speaking to us, and that everything in nature, the sun, the moon, the seasons, the animals, the weather, and even the changes in the body, could teach us about our own growth. They saw nature as a mirror and as a sacred book, filled with lessons written in the language of symbols. They believed that by studying nature, they could unlock secrets about how to heal, how to evolve, and how to return to the divine part of ourselves that is often hidden by pain and confusion. One of the great alchemists, Paracelsus, taught that real transformation happens inside. He believed that pain, emotion, and the struggle with our flaws were not something to run from, but something to move through. To him, suffering was not a punishment. It was a teacher. The sadness we feel, the fear we carry, the failures we face, each one is an invitation to grow. Each one helps us understand who we are and what we are becoming. Paracelsus knew that we don't become stronger by avoiding difficulty. We become stronger by allowing ourselves to feel, to learn, and to rise again. His teachings remind us that the process of healing is not clean or simple. It is messy, emotional, and full of questions. But every moment of pain, if faced with love and courage, becomes a step towards something more beautiful. These ideas might seem ancient, but they are more alive than ever. Today, modern psychology has begun to say many of the same things. Psychologists and healers now understand that our emotions, our struggles, and even our past trauma are not just burdens. They are keys. They help us understand why we do what we do, and they help us change. The same journey that the alchemists walked is still being walked today, though the language has changed. Whether we call it alchemy or therapy or self-work, the goal is the same: to take the broken pieces of ourselves and turn them into something whole. We are not just surviving, we are becoming. Ancient wisdom isn't just spiritual poetry from a distant past. It is a living guide for how to become a fuller, freer human being. And it speaks to everyone who is ready to listen. Some of the ancient teachers, like Fulcanelli, believed that the cathedrals and temples of the old world were not just beautiful buildings. They were messages carved in stone. To most people, these symbols looked like decorations, but to those with eyes to see and hearts to feel, they were maps. These symbols held secrets about the soul, about the universe, about the deep truths that can't be spoken with simple words. Alchemists believed that the universe always leaves clues, and if you look closely enough, you can find meaning in everything: in the shape of a tree, in the way the sun moves, in the details of an old building, in the silence between thoughts. These ideas are echoed in modern times by thinkers like Carl Jung, who believed that the human mind is filled with ancient patterns called archetypes. These are images and ideas that appear in myths, dreams, stories, and symbols across all cultures and all times. Jung saw alchemy not as a strange science, but as a spiritual path, and he believed that the ancient symbols were reflections of the deepest parts of the human soul. Jung called this journey individuation, the process of becoming a whole person. It's not about becoming perfect. It's about bringing all the parts of ourselves into the light, even the ones we've hidden or rejected. It's about facing our fears, listening to our emotions, and healing the wounds we carry. This journey is not easy. It takes time. It takes honesty. It takes the courage to feel what we'd rather avoid. But slowly, step by step, we begin to change. We begin to see that the pain we carry has something to teach us. We begin to understand that we are not broken. We are becoming. This journey doesn't belong to one religion, one philosophy, or one culture. It belongs to anyone who chooses to grow. It's not just spiritual. It's also emotional, mental, and deeply human. The truth is, healing and awakening do not happen all at once. They happen in small moments. They happen when we sit with our feelings instead of running away. They happen when we tell the truth, even when it's hard. They happen when we forgive, when we let go, when we begin again. Each time we do, we are practicing alchemy. We are turning our pain into wisdom, our wounds into gifts, our chaos into peace. The word vitriol, an ancient alchemical term, speaks of this process. It tells of a search for something hidden, something sacred, something deep within. It speaks of the journey to find the invisible truth that lives inside the visible world. And it tells us that the soul and the body, the spirit and the earth, are not separate. They are part of the same great dance. When we walk this path with open hearts, we reach a moment of awakening. It's not always loud. It's not always bright. Sometimes it's just a quiet knowing, a soft light in the dark corners of the soul. In this moment, we see ourselves as we truly are, not perfect, not finished, but whole. We begin to understand that we are not here to escape life. We are here to live it deeply. We are here to feel it fully. And we are here to become more loving, more open, more connected to everything around us. This transformation is not sudden. It's slow, sacred, and deeply personal. It doesn't come from one grand moment. It comes from many small unveilings, each one revealing a little more of who we really are. Every challenge we face, every wound we heal, every truth we speak brings us closer to ourselves. Slowly, we begin to see that all of our experiences, the joy, the pain, the loss, the hope, have been shaping us. We are not being punished. We are being prepared. We are being remade. In time, the opposites within us, light and shadow, strength and softness, fear and love, begin to find harmony. They stop fighting each other and start dancing together. And in that dance, something sacred is born, something that has always been inside us, waiting for the right moment to rise. This process is like fire touching metal. At first, it burns, it hurts, but then it purifies. It reveals the gold that was hidden inside all along. In the same way, when we face our own flaws and fears with honesty and compassion, we discover a power we didn't know we had. We discover that our greatest weakness can become our greatest strength. That is the real magic. That is real alchemy. Not tricks or spells, but a slow and sacred return to the truth of who we are. This kind of inner transformation is not about escaping life. It's about embracing it. It's about seeing the sacred in the ordinary. It's about realizing that every moment, every breath, every heartbeat is part of a bigger story. A story about growth, about healing, about love. At the highest point of this journey, the hidden stone appears, not as a jewel or a treasure, but as a realization. The realization that we are the treasure, that the universe and the soul are not two different things, but two parts of the same mystery. We are the microcosm that reflects the macrocosm. We are the seekers and the answers. We are the questions and the truth. In this moment, everything begins to make sense. The pain, the confusion, the longing, all of it was leading us home. We realize that we don't need to become someone else. We just need to become fully ourselves. And in that becoming, we reconnect with the divine, not as something far away, but as something already inside us. When we reach this place of deep understanding, something changes. Every part of life becomes sacred. Every small moment becomes holy. Every heartbeat becomes a song of praise, a song that says, I am alive, I am becoming, I am connected to something greater. This is the true meaning of transformation, not a quick fix, not a sudden change, but a lifelong journey. A journey that invites us to keep growing, to keep loving, to keep becoming. And even when the journey feels hard or lonely, we remember that we are not alone. We are part of something timeless, something eternal, something beautiful. This is the secret the ancient masters tried to share. This is the mystery that lives in every heart, that the journey inward is the most important journey of all. That real change happens when we choose to see the light in our darkness, the purpose in our pain, the gold in our wounds. This is what it means to be human. This is what it means to be an alchemist. We are not here to be perfect. We are here to be whole. We are here to remember who we truly are. And every step we take toward that truth is a miracle.